Welcome to this look at a new map to console on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. So this is the Northern Coast console edition. I was sent a video link ages ago for Greenbale's channel. Greenbale is a modder, map maker, YouTuber. Brought us Greenwich Valley on console. Love that map. And has a knack for this. As you can see, looking straight out here, this is a picturesque map. It's set in Northern Ireland. It's a fictitious map, but based in reality. You know, it's, to use the word a simplified map is the right word, but not taken out of context. It's simple in that it's not over cluttered. There's not a huge amount of sell points. There's not too much going on. There's just enough. We start off along a country lane, and you can see as you look around straight away it's got a certain feel. Now again, this is a love it or hate it situation. Not everyone loves tight lanes, you know, that British countryside. I know, you know, it's a difficult one to put across. Anyway, right, so this is by Greenbale, 296.22 megabytes to download on console. Are there any additional crop types on this one? No, there aren't, not on the console edition. We are going to wander up the lane because I'm going to start the map tour. Well, we start the map here. That's where we start, on this little river, looking down across towards the harbour area down the road. Up here we've got chicken coops. I do my map tours on New Farmer. On New Farmer we start with field 28 and 41 around the sheep pen, and there's a farm silo there and a fuel point. We've also got a cow farm that has a farm silo and a fuel point, and obviously the chickens I've just mentioned. We've got a cluster of sell points including the biogas plant up here. Biogas plant is about 344 grand, yeah, 343,680 if you want to use the biogas plant. You need to own it. That's fairly sort of generic now. And then around the sort of harbour area we've got the rest of the sell points. There's a lot of grass work and grass fields around the map. But like I say, contracts are available. If I scroll across, there we go. There's 2 at the moment, but there are contracts available. Field prices themselves aren't too bad. If we look at, oh, I mean that takes in the main farm, doesn't it? That was probably the worst one for me to pick. Field 25, 113,000. Field 32, 111,000. Then we've got fields like Field 8, 625,000. Field 15, 571. So we've got a range of field sizes, field prices, working your way up, which is very nice. Now on New Farmer, this uses 572 out of 1,299 slots available, which is pretty good. And when we get on to looking at the actual vehicles we start with, which we will do in a minute, we'll then talk about Farm Manager and start from scratch modes. I will jump ahead in just a second, but yeah, what I started off by saying was I was sent a video link, and I can't remember who sent it to me, to Greenbale's channel. And one of the videos, the link that was sent to me it was like green laning. It was driving down country lanes, and it was on this map before the map had been released on PC. And I knew straight away I was going to like it. You know, it's right up my street, this sort of map. The detail on it is incredible. But like I said, not necessarily to everyone's taste. But there are some really cracking features. It has a very realistic feel to it, you know. And I've said this before, sometimes you get maps that get released and they feel a bit contrived. They feel a little bit kind of forced in a way. This isn't forced at all. And I think that's probably what I like about it. Now, as you can see, this is something that's probably going to annoy a lot of people, is the shade. Now, I mentioned this when I did Euro Farms recently, when I did the tour around there, that the shade was just too much. I couldn't. Everything had too much shade. You went around a building, a shed or whatever, and it was just, everything was shade. There is shade on this, but this is the same as Marwell Manor. When that came out, a lot of people didn't like it. There's a difference between the shade and shader being off and it being right. If you drive down a country lane and the sun's shining across and part of the hedge is in shadow and the trees, that's how it would be in real life. Some maps you go on and it doesn't feel right. I haven't quite got it. Yes, there is a lot of shadow in this, there is a lot of shading, but it works because it matches up with where the sun is. It's how it should be. Are there a lot of trees overhanging the lanes and things? Yes. And if you're driving first person and watching quite a few of Greenbale's videos, a lot of the first person work that Greenbale does on his channel, if you're first person it feels right. If you're driving out of cab, which I will show you in a little while as well, the trees can get in the way, and that's just me playing devil's advocate. I'm not, that's what I do when I do my map tours. It's just a fact. So we are up here in the sort of northwest corner of the map. Both these gates open, I'm pretty sure they do. Some of the triggers can be a little bit finicky to find. I have found. Come on. I know it's there because I've had them both open before. How weird. There we go. One opens one way, one opens the other. So this is the chicken farm. And we've got these chicken buildings either side. Each one holds 500 chickens. The feed points are just over here. And they have got loads of free range area outside either side, and when you buy them they come out through the little sort of doorways, hatches, out into the outside. When they start producing eggs, the egg boxes appear here on this side and here on this side. So that's where your egg boxes will come. And the chickens don't require any water or anything like that either. If you want to buy the chicken farm, which is up here, it's 387,302. Now one thing I have found in a little bit of playing around with it late last night, you don't have to own the land to have the animals on there. And I tried with each of them to see how many animals each would have. So you don't have to own the land to have them, but obviously if you want to place anything or do anything else with it, it probably helps to have the land anyway. Now what was I going to do next before I forget? Let's jump off of that. We're going to head to the main farm and then we'll do the tour around from there, but I just want to start up in this corner because as you can tell from the map this is kind of out away from everything else, and whilst there's not a route round on the main roads, the other thing I really like about this map is you've got your main road up here and you've got this road that runs right the way down that takes you down to the coast road. There's a lighthouse up on the end there which I haven't actually been to yet, but you have also got these little tracks and lanes that run up around through the countryside, and you've got smaller ones like this one here that then cut across between those as well, and that's also what gives it a really nice feel. I don't know, you can probably tell I like the map. That's when I do my map tours I try to be as unbiased as I possibly can, but you can tell when I like one. You can often tell when I'm a little bit I'm not sure, I like this. I think it's a nice map. There are some different textures being used. The grass texture is a real kind of thick, vibrant grass. Something I don't always show, and I've said before I need to do more of when I do map tours, is showing the texture palette that's available if you do any landscaping. There are 2 grass textures available on this one. Both of those do grow as well, which is great. When you first put them down, I will show you again later. Well, I will show you later. When you first put them down you think, oh no, that's not great, but they do grow, so don't worry about that. And there's also like a rough concrete texture, not this one, but I'll show you that as well, which is a really nice one. Like it's been tamped down, but you'll see. So bear with me just a minute. So standing here on this lane, where am I now? Well, I'm here down by the sheep farm, which is what we start with on New Farmer. I'm going to grab a vehicle because this is where all our vehicles are clustered, and then we're going to head up. We're going to do the sell points up here, then we'll come back down the lane, we'll do the cow farm, and then we'll go down the lane and do these ones here, we'll probably finish off going out towards the lighthouse because the shop's out that way. Will we take in the entire map? No. But again, it's just to give you a feel, and obviously I generally like to kind of leave it that there's something left to explore. What I do like as well on here is the different fences and gates, and the gates are all fairly generic, but what I like as well up at the chickens, which I didn't quite show actually in all honesty, was that you have like a mesh at the lower level, so rather than just a 5-bar gate, you've got these ones that have got a mesh below, so when you've got animals and stuff, I don't know, it's just a small detail, but it's those little details that make a difference, I think. So this is the old farm area. We have got a lot of shadow. Like I say, I'm not hiding the fact it's there. I'm not going to say it's not. It is. I just think it works. We do have a water point. These with the blue hose pipe are water points, refill points. We do start with a jet wash here and at the cow farm as well. And this is where our kind of main machinery is. So what we'll do is we'll talk about the machinery now while we're here. So, what do we start with? Well, we start with the Fendt Favorite 511C, a John Deere 6135M, a New Holland TX32, TDK 1600 Farm Tech trailer, a Strautmann SEK 802, the header for the TX32, we've got a cultivator, we've got a seeder, sprayer, mower, windrower, windrower, baler, forks, buckets, header trailer. Now these are the two that have got me a little bit puzzled. We've got farm grain silo at the old yard where we are now, and the farm grain silo at the main yard, which is the cow yard. These are 500,000 litre capacity silos. I'll show you those in just a second. We are sitting on 572 out of 1299 slots, which is what I already mentioned. Now if you come onto this on Farm Manager or start from scratch, you start on 414. You have these 4 items, but you don't have any of the vehicles or machinery. The buildings and the animal pens are fixed in place. Those aren't sellable, they are here all the time. But like I say, you do only start with chickens, cows and sheep. There is no pig farm, there's no pigs on here yet, there's no horses. So those are things that can be added on. Now what we'll do is, there are light switches all over the place for the outsides. We have light switches for the insides. All the sheds and barns are made by Greenbale. Something else I like as well, it's different. It's not, like I've said before, not just that plonk down, here's a building, here's a barn, here's a biogas plant. This has all been kind of made bespoke. And we do also have, no, I knew that was going to happen. Open the door. There we go, light switch just to the side. So a lot of our machinery is tucked inside here, and we do have our workshop trigger inside here at the old farm. Now that is a placeable. While we're on the subject of placeables, we do have a building over here as well. Also with light switches with some more of our equipment in. Is mods. Do we start with any mods? Now I've already said there are no custom crops, but as far as mods go, animal pens there aren't any. I'm trying to think, was under miscellaneous. Yeah, we've got the vehicle workshop, so that toolbox is 5,000. Sorry, decoration. We've got these fences, so we've got some fences, placeable gate and fence ends, and a placeable hedge if you want to put those in. Under silos, and this is where it's a bit weird, there are no modded silos. Sheds. We've got these two, so if you want to set up your own farmyard, there's a large storage yard and there's a storage shed. 6 slots and 8 slots, again pretty good on the slot count, can't odds that at all. And then we've got the farmhouse sleep trigger for 1,000. Now you don't start with a sleep trigger on the map. I like that as an option. You do have a sleep trigger here in the menu and you can place it wherever you want. What I also like about, oh wrong one, that one. What I like about it is that you can see it. It's a big blocky object, but when you place it, it doesn't actually place anything. So you can actually see where it is going to be placed, but then you've got to remember where you put it. So what I'll do is put it down. So I've already put my sleep trigger down, and if we go around to it, which I put it around here, didn't I? you'll see there's nothing on the ground. But if I open my help menu, there we go, it now says sleep. So that's where my trigger is, but there's not actually anything there. But there have been maps where you have had a trigger like that, and when you go to place it, there's nothing to show you where you're actually placing it anyway. So I like the fact you've got the option to put it wherever you want. It's not fixed in place. That's a good thing. So yeah, there are some mods. Now the point I was making was, looking in silos, is that if we go back to our garage menu, both of these say at the bottom, underneath where it says the price, mod. They both say mod, but I can't find them under the placeables menu. I've looked in all of the bits here, not under animals, not under miscellaneous, not under decoration, not under silos, which is where you think they'd be, not under sheds, and not under farmhouses. So be careful, because if you do sell these, and you can sell these, and when you do sell them they disappear out of these buildings, because I thought, oh, maybe they're linked to the building. Maybe when you place those placeable sheds they're inside. They're not. You can remove this and it will disappear, but if it disappears you can't put it back again. So I'm wondering if it's just been omitted by accident and it should be under silos as an option to buy. But anyway, again, I just thought I'd point out. Now as far as sheep go, our livestock trigger animal dialog box is just here. This will hold 500 sheep. The wool pallets spawn just here. Your feed trough trigger is just here. Now this was a little bit finicky. I did put hay in it to test it out when I had some animals, and it was a little bit, the trigger was a bit difficult to find. The water trigger is just here at the trough, and that's your sheep. But as you can see, the grass texture, it's a really nice lush texture. And while we're on the subject of that, let's have a quick look at those textures I was talking about, which I don't always show and I should do more often. So we'll switch to that. Now some of the other ones are more generic. I won't go through all of them. That's something to have a look at yourself. But we've got that one, which is the patchy grass, and then that one. Now both of these, when you first place them, as you look, you think, oh, hang on a minute, that's a bit worrying. Is that like the flat textures? Because that's not, but it does grow. I have tested it, I sped up time, and it will grow and it will look just like this grass here. Albeit patchy if you go for that one, and not so patchy if you go for that one. But the other one I really like is that one. Yeah, it looks like tamped concrete. You know, when you have like a long beam or whatever you're using to flatten it down, it looks like it's been tamped along. I like that as a texture. No, obviously I don't want to be doing that across an entire field, but that's nice. That I like that as an option. So that's the texture part of things kind of covered. So what I'm going to do, grab a tractor and we'll head round. What we'll do is turn all the lights off though. Let's grab the John Deere. I knew that would happen. Come on. There we go. So, what we're going to do from here is head up to the sell points more in the northeast, then we'll do the cow farm. And like I say, it's just kind of taking the scenery, taking the countryside. These side roads don't have any traffic on, but the main roads top and bottom do. If we're on the correct side of the road, that'd be great. So as I'm driving, I'm looking down my list of things I want to cover. It is seasons ready. Mustn't we get that? I've mentioned the silo situation. It's things like this that I like. Signposting, link or scenic route, and then you've got the coastal route. There's a sign that shows you, if we go to the main roads here, it says causeway coastal route is what you'd head down to if you're going to go down to the coast. So, heading out east, the topography of the map is lovely. It kind of it's very sweeping, rolling countryside anyway. But the way it sweeps down to the coast as well, like I say, it has a really nice feel to it. Now the question was posited to me last night, or it was mentioned, somebody had said they don't think it's as good as Greenwich Valley. That's a difficult one, because I say it's a very different map. There are a lot of things, again, I've said this before with lots of map tours, certain map makers have a real kind of signature feel to their maps, and you get onto a particular map and think, oh, this is made by so and so, you just get that feel for it. So whilst it is a very different area, yes, there's a kind of element, there is a feel of Greenwich Valley about it. Is it better or worse than Greenwich Valley? That's a difficult one to say. I mean, Greenwich Valley had a lot more on it, but again, I think that comes down to the fact that as a map maker, this is a slice of a part of countryside. That's what I've said about earlier about being contrived. Sometimes you'll get a slice of countryside and then people think, I've got to ram this full of stuff. I have to ram it full of sell points. I have to have, you know, and sometimes I think less is more. Sometimes having an area that feels right is better than having everything. That said, I do like a map that has lots of functionality, lots of options and lots of things to do. It depends on your mood, it depends who you are, it depends the sort of thing you like. I'm not going to pass judgment on whether I think it's better or worse than Greenwich Valley. I think it's a different map. You know, has a lot of the same qualities to it. Now, we do have a sawmill, and the wood chip sell point is just here, and our lumber sell point is just here. There's not actually a designated forest on the map. Oh, the other thing I was going to point out was the periphery of the map you can buy for 0. There are going to be a couple of elements. I think when I had a look on this earlier, this field down here I was able to access, but some of these other ones around the outside I couldn't. So you can buy the periphery. It might help you if you want to place road signs or bits and bobs, or if there's anything you want to place for a kind of narrative storytelling type thing. So you can buy the periphery of the map, but I couldn't find, whilst there are a few trees around here and there, there's not a designated forest per se. That being said, for wood chips selling as well, if you do poplars, you can still sell your wood chips. Bale sell point is over in the corner. We've got quite a few sell points all in one place here. Bale sell points over in the corner here, and then we've got coastal exports, which is one of our main sell points, which is just here if we scroll across one. So as you can see there, we've got bales, coastal exports, Dale Farm, sizzling sausage, United Grain, wood chips and wool drop off. Wood chips we've just looked at, bales we've just looked at, and coastal exports. Actually, it's a good point. Wool drop off. That's got to be here, hasn't it? But I don't think these doors open. Well, we can always highlight it if I can't find it. Is that in here? So biogas plant is here. That's your digestate tank. That's your biogas plant cell point into the digesting system. 2 bunker silos just here. Right, I wonder if it's underneath that awning. Let's go back to there. That's one I didn't check for actually. Wool drop off, tag place. Oh, it's around the back. Oh, is it the other side of coastal exports? Oh, it is. It's just around there. So there's our wool point. Okay, coastal exports, wool drop off, bales, lumber, wood chips. It's all here. It's all happening. Little industrial park. So that's a lot of the main sell points, all in one place. Up here in the more northeast corner of the map. So what we're going to do now is head down towards the cow farm, then we'll take the back lane down. Traffic is fairly slow, it's not too bad. Now the point I was making about the roads, like you can see already, and it's worse in the lanes. I say worse is the wrong word, but you can see with the trees, Marwell Manor was very much like this. And that can also be a testament to, or give you an understanding into the map maker themselves. If a map maker is used to playing a game in cab a lot, and you drive along now thinking, that's spot on. When you drive along the roads and you've got that light shining through the trees, you get that flicker like that, you know, how annoying that can be sometimes when you drive along the road, you've got that flicker in your eye, you think, oh, I'm going to have an epileptic fit at this rate if this carries on. That feels right, it feels real, there's nothing wrong with that at all. So if you're somebody who plays in cab a lot, there's nothing wrong with this at all. If you prefer to play out of cab a lot, and depending how close in or how far away from the cab you like to be, it may be something you'll find annoying. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. I'm trying to play devil's advocate, you know. On map tours before, I know people say, oh, but you've said before, and I have, you know. I always tried to defend Marwell Manor when that first came out, because a lot of people slammed that for the same reason. I loved it. I thought it just worked, you know. So, the cow farm. Very nice farmhouse off to the side, and again having that ability for the sleep trigger. Now this farm is a little bit more expensive to buy. I clicked on this by accident, didn't I, before? This one is 611,000 if you want to buy it, but like I said, I don't think you have to own the farm. Because I managed to place animals and stuff on here and didn't have a problem. So, the main cow farm. Livestock trigger, he says, is just here. So our dialogue box is just here. And the cows appear out here in the field on console. Water trough trigger is just here. Feed trigger for TMR and stuff is just here. I found it was just inside the door here. Straw bedding, the trigger was along here, inside this building. These all have light switches as well. And we can come through and out the other side. 2 bunker silos here at the cow farm as well. These are drive-through and exterior lights too, for a bit of nighttime work should you wish to do it. The milk trigger is here, although it's not kind of designated with anything. There's no churns or anything on the floor, and I couldn't get this door to open at all, but that is where the milk trigger is. I have checked that, I have tested it, that's where it is. We've got a couple of gateways out into the fields and various different things from here. Then we've got more barn space. Fuel point here at this farm as well. This one I think is just the one that's got the silo in it. No, it might be the other one. Again, building space, light trigger, I think it might be this one further around. So that other silo, the one I was talking about, the 500,000 litre one, potentially this might get an update. If that is an error, and they're supposed to be there available, oh there we go, just here. Don't get rid of them until maybe they appear in there. But I mean, you know, grain storage, silo storage, whatever you want it to be in here. So that's the other silo just there. So that's your triggers. Oh, we've got a jet wash here as well, and that is a water point as well. Like I said, the blue hose, we do have water here available, so you don't have to put in a water point if you don't want to. The view out is just astounding. You know, very nice indeed. Did I say it holds 500? This will hold 500. So all the animals on here will do 500. Did I close that? I did. Right. So from here, actually, I should really close all the doors back up again. Turn up, open all the doors at the farm, and clear off. How very nice of me. Am I going to miss something? Potentially. I always say that on map tours, mod reviews, there is a likelihood it can happen, you know. Because this has been out a while, and again this has been kind of eagerly anticipated on console, and over the last couple of weeks I've had loads of people asking me, is it coming to console, when's it coming to console, because it released on PC, and I think people kind of already got that feel. This is it's a corker of a map, it really is, and a lot of people wanted to play on it. Well, it's here. So, down through the lane, and this is what I'm talking about. Especially if you're pulling a trailer, if you get down some of these lanes where there's a lot more trees, I can understand why some people might not like that. So there's one of the side lanes, that takes you across the map to the lane where we first started out with the little river on it. But I like this, the winding lanes, and some people prefer a map with a bit more hustle and bustle and a lot more going on. So down the hill. So the river where we started off comes down across that field and runs down under here into the culvert underneath. But we do come to here, which is the livestock market. So if you want to buy, sell, load or unload, if you want to deliver yourself, you can do that here from this trigger. Valley Rock Auction. Next door. Now it says on the map Dale's Farm, but it says Dairy Farm when we go into it, which is the next one. Is Dairy Farm, isn't it? Yep. So that's that one there. We'll have a look on the main map again in a minute. I often do that just to, so we can see where we are, where we've been. The next one around, just over there, we've got Lime Point. So that's Lime Station just there. Then the second of the main sell points is this one here. So this is United Grain and Coastal Exports, was up on the top of the hill in the northeast. So this is the second one. So we have come from the cow farm down this lane. There's the river on the map that runs up toward the lane where we first started off. We've looked at the animal dealer, Dale Farm, the dairy farm, Lime Station, United Grain. What I love about this as well, it was weird how, well, not weird in a way, it's that thing of that familiarity. Now I know this is set in Ireland, but straight away my mind went to a different place. When I kind of drove along the road and saw this, I mean, I'd cut around the back of here first. This little park on the left there with a little football pitch. We've got a little housing estate tucked away there, little close around the back there. We've got a petrol station which is going to come up on. But when I first had a look round and went round past the petrol station, my mind straight away went, wow, feels a little bit like Mersey Island. And if you've ever been, I don't know why, it's some of the little side turnings around the back on Mersey Island, it just, I'm not quite sure, can't quite put my finger on it. So, fuel station, just there. I'll turn that off now. I think it's kind of heading down towards seeing the water there and having buildings to the side. I don't know, I suppose it's like any coastal place you've ever been to when you drive along and there are houses and you can see the sea. It just, I don't know. So here we are at the coast itself. I'm going to just nip out this way for a minute. This was the field I was talking about. Now, whilst there's not actually a gate, I don't think. Well, that's what I was going to say. Hedge collisions. There aren't any hedge collisions. However, there's sort of at the bottom of each hedge, there's a lump, like a lip. So whilst there aren't hedge collisions for vehicles or people, as I've said before, on a map that has full collisions, nothing will go through. On a map, when I refer to it as no hedge collisions, you can go through it and you can drive through it, but you can't often put pallets, bales, headers for harvesters won't go through hedges generally. So this field here, you can oh, there is a gate. You can get onto it. Does that open? But it doesn't show up here as part of the periphery. Rather than, so I mean, I don't know, it's just something I kind of noticed as I was going around. How far through the fields you can go, I don't know, but you often find on maps people find these little secret fields and locations. That's what I said, have a search around, have a look around the map. So we're going to go along the seafront now. Got a little marina off to our right. Moving into Ballyrock itself. Got loads of little shops and love it. Again, just, I don't know, it has a really nice feel to it. So one of the sell points along the front here is the sizzling sausage. Which we're going to get to in a minute. There we go. The sizzling sausage. Now what can we sell at the sizzling sausage? Just eggs? Oh, I thought you'd be able to sell, you know. Well, I suppose we haven't got any pigs, have we? Anyway, carrying along the front, we're going to head to the store, which is just up the hill here. This map is going to be primarily small to medium machinery. You're not going to get away with massive stuff on here. I'm sure people will try and you may get away with it, you may find it works no problem at all. You know, I think it's also judging by the main yard here. If we go up into the store, this is not a store area designed for huge amounts of machinery. The bigger the trailer you get, and the vehicles do spawn here, a longer vehicle spawns out quite a long way, so attaching up can be a little bit tricky, not horrendously so, but it can be a little bit. So the main store point is here, and our trigger for repair, customization, selling is just here, our Kennedy & Co. That's our main store. This is also the reset point, so if you have any issues, any problems, anything gets stuck, that kind of thing, you need to reset. It will reset back here down to the store point right here. So what we'll do now is head along the coast a little bit further, because I haven't been to the lighthouse yet, so might as well head out that way. Makes a change me stopping to look for traffic, doesn't it? Turning coming up on our left. If I just missed the turning completely, I might have done, mightn't I? That road there takes you up to the sheep farm, and on the left the cow farm. That's kind of the main artery up. Just going to check this map because I think I've missed the turning, haven't I? Oh no, I should be able to go further up. Just thinking, is there a little lane that runs along there that maybe I should have taken, but we should be okay. Eagerly anticipated, yes. Worth the wait, I think so. As I said before, you've got people like GB Modding at the moment. Greenbale. Oh, you can't. Oh, sad times. I was so hoping I could get out to the lighthouse. There's me saying I hadn't been out to the lighthouse to have a look. I can't get out to the lighthouse. Yeah, but people like GB Moddy and Greenbale, I mean, don't get me wrong, loads of people are putting out quality maps with some really cracking stuff on them. But yeah, they're two for me at the moment that kind of stand out as being naturally gifted. I say naturally, it's hard to say, isn't it? They put a lot of time and effort into learning their craft and, you know, being able to do this and do it well. So naturally gifted probably is the wrong way of putting it, but what they do very well. So let's stop there, put the beacons on, nip through the hedge to that. See, I could see myself quite happily in the summer's afternoon, sitting in the grass, having a picnic, watching the world go by. But there you go. That's the Northern Coast by Greenbale, out now on console. I think I've covered everything I intended to. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.